gentlemen, all the good people watching, we back. I put up two hands. Week 8, AL Turf Talk, or AL2's Turf Talk. So, got some more winners this week. Talk to. A little quick preview of next week's game for them as well. But hey, another fun time, exciting time to watch some AL2 games. Lots of teams, lots of places to find them. We'll talk about some of that at least during this episode. So, hey, without further ado, it's time to get into it. We're going to start the same place we started last week. And that is going to be with your Georgia Indians. Good people. What's going on, fellas?
What's good?
Oh, no.
What's going on? Not much.
So another, I say, pretty good week for Georgia Indians. I see y'all representing deep. I know we're going to get at least one Georgia somewhere in the show, so it's all good.
Georgia.
Yeah, you guys.
He got it ready.
Well, I mean, first thing to do here, let all the people know that may not know. Georgia with a 46-42 victory over the Mississippi Wolfpack. So another win. We were on here last week, and we talked about how this team believes they have the best defense in the AAL2. I'm sure that hasn't changed. Obviously, the offense is playing well as well because points are being put up on the board. So, Coach Holmes, starting with you, and we'll go around. Same question for everybody. Biggest takeaway from the win this weekend?
Well, it was a pretty good. It was a pretty good game. They came out. They came out ready to play. I think we played good together. You know, that's one thing I love about our team. You know, when sometimes when offense is down, we struggling a little bit. Defense pick us up, and vice versa. You know, and that's pretty much how the game went. It was going back and forth, but we came together as a team. You know, and we made it happen. Definitely made it happen. I'm proud of these guys. You know.
Mm-hmm. Nothing like winning.
Exactly.
All right, Jeffrey, what about you, sir? Your biggest takeaway from the game?
It was just a great game. Started off kind of slow, but we picked it up real quickly in the first quarter. Got some points on the board. Got the ball. Defense did a great job getting the ball back to us, and we kept our foot on the gas for the most part. And I'm just happy how we finished the game and how we stayed with each other and just, how we finished. It ain't about how you start, it's about how you finish in this case most of the time.
I say it all the time. Definitely agree. I dig that. Nico.
I mean, piggybacking off of defense, I mean, that's where we do most of the work, honestly. But the offense really carried us this time in the game, to be 100% with you. The offense put the points on the board, and we just carried the momentum over and try to get back the ball as soon as possible. We faced a lot of adversity, but as Coach said, we stay together, and that's what helped us get the win.
I feel it. Q, what you got for me?
Just to piggyback off Nico, yeah, they came out swinging. I give them that. They came out, hit us in the mouth. We won. Honestly, I can honestly say we weren't expecting that. It woke us up. It woke some of the defensive players up because we was smelling ourselves a little bit. And, we had to get a reality check, and them boys coming to play. Like, they came out, it was who's going to fold first, and we didn't fold, neither did they. So it was just a all-out war all the way to the end.
I dig. Yeah, definitely shows that, tight score. So, Coach, I'm going to ask you this question. While you're in the game, everything's, seems pretty tight. Where'd you get that one kind of like, we're going to do this, and this is going to be the difference maker? This is that one thing we're going to change a little bit that's going to help us in this particular game.
Well, they know from you can tell they've been studying film on us. because they
Mm-hmm.
was actually calling out certain certain areas they knew we was gonna go to, especially when we was running the ball.
Okay.
So I wanted to try something a little different. I say, look, okay, they moving up because they was playing a zone deep pretty much the whole game. They didn't want to get beat behind, so we started pounding. Then I knew if we go with a play action, to Mozzie and a couple of others, well, especially Mozzie with the speed he had, and it opened it up. When we knew that he had the cornerback looking in the backfield, and he was gone with it. So that was the momentum changer right there as well on offense. We knew we can go deep like that. To have their D backs come up and try to stop the run, and they failed for it, and that's how we were successful in doing that. And I knew then it's over with.
And that's a good example, guys, of everybody watching. It's a good example of, in that moment saying, what we've been doing may not have success because they're prepared for that. But we had the ability to switch up because we practice doing different things. You're not going to fix something if it's not broke. So if what you've been doing is continue to work, you keep moving with that because that's less people that see the other things that you do. When it's not working, you got to make some changes.
That's right.
And it sounds like as we're able to do that. So to my two offensive guys here, Jeff and Shiesty, what was the moment for each of y'all that you felt like, all right, we kind of got this in the bag now? Maybe the same as coaches. It may be something else that you saw yourself. What was you guys' moment where you kind of felt like we got a real good chance to kind of make a separation now?
I'm gonna let my quarterback speak first, and I'm gonna piggyback off of him.
Fair enough.
I mean, really, me and Mozzie already got that 1-2 connection, so we can look at each other and nod, or when we know a DB is turned the wrong way or something. I guess that's just like a wide receiver quarterback instinct.
Yeah.
I don't to answer your question. I don't really know what triggered it. I mean, we came out throwing punches. We already knew it was gonna be a throwing punching game, so we just roll with it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I guess for me, I can pretty much tell based off how a DB's playing, whether he's flat-footed, whether he's pressed up, whether he's playing off, based either how the cornerback's playing, how the safety's playing, or how they're gonna try to dictate on what routes I can and can't run. So I try to take what the defense give me, and the way their cornerbacks was playing, they was playing about 6 yards off and little about 2 yards to the inside, and I was like, man, if you gonna give me this and you ain't got no safety help, shoot, I trust my speed and shoot, I go for blood when I see it. You know what I'm saying? So it was just one of those things where when I got the first one off, I'm like, all right, I feel it now. So look at PJ, give him a head nod, give him a whatever signal I can give him, and I'm like, hey, they playing soft, and let's attack them and just take what they give us.
I feel it. So Q, Nico, question for you gentlemen on the defensive side of the ball. I know Nico kind of said a little while ago, a few minutes ago, that the offense kind of had to, carry y'all a little bit this game. But y'all made enough plays because you were able to get your offense in a position where they had less points. So, they had more points than the other team. So, what did you guys see on the defensive side to kind of give you that? Okay, we at least know we can make enough plays to put the offense in a position to go ahead and close this thing out for us.
Go ahead, Tay. You started off.
So basically what we seen was, it's like, okay, they just want to run it. They just want to run. They want to run. So I came to the coach, and as coach mentioned on the last episode, I was first team linebacker for AAL2 last year. So I'm looking at it, and this when I knew we had the game figured out. Coaches made adjustment at halftime, told the D-line what to do, told me just roam. So I'm basically spying the quarterback at this point. And anywhere he went, I was right there. either making him running across the field, coming from quarterback, running back. Now, both of them, boy, all of them, they got some. Now, number 9, I'm going to tell you like this. Number 9 was, we made him run for his life. And I was not going to let one person beat us. I was chasing him around as much as I could, helping out in coverage as much as I could. So we just played around with we adjusted our alignment. A lot of teams seen from previous games that we'll sit back and pick you off. Our D-line is going to get to your quarterback and force you to throw it. So they came out and just said, let's run. And it was punch mouse ball after that. So when I got in the box and we changed up our disguises on how we was going to play them and keep that quarterback contained, it wasn't much they can really do at that point. Because now it's just speed all over the field. Now, they did get some off, and they did, like, miss assignments and stuff like that, but it was something new for definitely one of our new linebackers. When we had Dre go out, we had another linebacker, number 5, Scooby. He came in. It's kind of new for him. So having me in the box, and he just got used to being in the box by himself. When he got somebody else in the box, that's what changed it. So we fixed it on that because we know the next team about to do the same thing. But that was the key right there. Just changing our look, changing our defense to confuse the quarterback.
I mean, just like he said, I mean, ultimately this game is chess, it ain't checkers. You know what I mean? So once we made our adjustment, we already knew we had the game. We made them one-dimensional. The QB couldn't throw the ball no more. It made the game so much simpler for everybody. And really from there, I mean, everybody did their job. Tate being in the box was definitely a big help because when he wasn't there in the first half, things weren't the same.
We got to shout out Mugga. Well, I don't know his real name.
Chris Johnson.
We call him, huh?
Chris Johnson.
Well, there he is. Him coming up with that interception. We had little Jay running around, and Jay, I hope you watching this because you owe me 2 picks because he had 2 on that went through his hand. But with them back there flying around the way they was flying around, the D-line doing their job, we forced him to either you gonna run it or throw it. When he threw that pick, all he wanted to do was run. That's the only thing they had success with. So we just made him one-dimensional and closed in on him.
Fair enough. So my next question, of course, and this will be for everyone. Who was your offensive player of the game? If you could shout out one guy from the offensive side of the ball for their play in this game, who would it be?
Big foe.
Right
up there.
Yeah.
J Mac.
Hey, Rain Man right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate y'all, boys.
He took the ceiling off. He literally took the ceiling off.
Appreciate y'all, boys, man.
Yeah,
once you take the
Although
top
he couldn't
off.
do it without PJ, though. Couldn't do it without PJ.
He put up some numbers though. He had 155 receiving, 4 touchdowns.
That's what I like to hear. That's balling.
He had a 4 for 4.
Yeah,
Making
man.
it happen.
I was just having fun, man. Just taking advantage of what they giving me. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really slow play too much when I'm out there. So you gonna slow play, I'm gonna take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm. And that's crazy. It's crazy because the answer, it's crazy that one game we can be our running attack can be brutal, and it's crazy how another week the passing game can just be brutal. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's crazy.
Yeah, man. We got weapons all over the field, man. It ain't just. I mean, this week was just my week. I made the best of my opportunities. Next week could be somebody else. So it ain't just one person. Everybody step up when they number called. So
right.
This week it was just my turn, and I made the best of it.
Yeah, and that's the big thing about it. Like you said, opportunities may not be there because next week everybody's going to be looking at you like that's the dude to stop. So that's going to be somebody else's opportunity, to step up, and you still might get them, but at least, taking advantage of the opportunities you get. That's the name of the game.
Yes, sir.
All right. So obviously got to ask the opposite question as well. From the defensive side of the ball, who's that one guy for y'all?
I say the defense as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Everybody flew around and made plays.
if I had to give it to one person just because of the turnover, Mugga. We needed that turnover
Yeah.
when we got it. But we got to get an honorable mention to Jay because he saved the touchdown. And he had a big hit. He had a
He
big
did.
hit at the end of the game.
He also
Like,
had a pick and a fumble recovery too.
Mhm.
Jay.
If you look at Jay and Mug or Chris Johnson, that's his real name. You look at Jay and Chris, like they the total opposite. So 163, about 200, the other one about 5'9", about 165. But both them boys fly around and they just play fearless football. They just play free out there. So both them boys nice.
yeah, but like they said, as a whole, you got to get to the defense. But if we got to pick a person, it's hard. Them two, for sure. They came in clutch when we needed it. We wouldn't have won that game without them two.
I love to hear it. So, guys, any other thoughts? We'll go around and start with you, Coach, and then we'll just go around. Any other thoughts on this week's game? And then we'll take a few minutes to talk about next week's game.
Well, if I'd have known PJ had needed 7 more yards to get 200 yards total in passing, I would have did a hitch or something so he could have got it 200 yards. If I'd have
We
known
was
that.
telling you that, boss man.
Hey,
You were so into the game, he didn't hear it.
we trying to run that clock down. I wasn't trying to, but yeah, PJ also had a right now career playing game. He threw for 193 yards, 5 touchdowns, and rushed for 1. That's right there. That's what it's all about. You know, the numbers they putting up. That's what them scouts is looking for. You know, that's what they looking at in these players. You know, who can make the big plays and who's playing like men amongst kids. You know, and them right there, put them kind of numbers. And that's from the AF1, looking at what them quarterbacks did this week. Like their number one quarterback, he threw for 200. He threw for 200 yards. Of course, I think it was like 3 touchdowns or something like that. He was slanging it. But when you look at the numbers that we putting up right now, and again, you know, he played the whole game. Normally, he only played first and second quarter. He's done after that, you know, in the second half. So, you know, he's by far my number one quarterback right now. But I'm just glad he's with us. I'm glad we got all the weapons that we have on offense and defense. And I got to show love to my coaches. You know, that's one thing I don't speak a lot on, but my coaches that's out there grinding. They grinding, they making plays, they calling plays, making adjustments. You know, they even coming to me, coach, let's try this. We see this. You know, and I appreciate everything that they bring to the table. And that's what makes us a perfect family, a perfect unit. That continuity is there. I love it. Love it.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey, man, what about you? Any last words, last thoughts on this past week?
I'm just happy we got the dub, man. It was chess match game or back and forth game, and but those are the type of games you live for. You know, of course, everybody wants to blow everybody out. Everybody want to win by a big margin, but big nail biters, whether it's a shootout or it's a shutout, one of them close shutout games, them type of games you live for. You live to win the game in the fourth quarter. And if you want to start off slow, you want to finish strong and all that. So it was just a great game, man. I'm proud of how everybody showed up and how proud of how everybody, took care of business and how we stuck together, But, on to the next. We got another opponent this weekend. So we celebrated it over the weekend. Now it's time to, get back to work.
All right, Shiesty P, what about you?
Well, I tell you last week, cool. I said it was gonna be a good competition game. I told you that.
You did.
Them boys definitely fought for home, man.
And then at the end of it, I told you we was gonna be back too.
You did.
That's just my 2 cents. I'm just gonna leave it there.
He said it. Nico, what about you, sir?
Honestly, I mean, I'm just glad to see how we respond to adversity in that game. Because, the week prior, we blowing out our opponent. We really didn't have no competition till last week, so it showed us a lot. It showed us what we're made of for real. And honestly, we're just on to the next. Ain't no more dwelling on the past. Keep moving forward.
All right, Q.
Respect. They earned my respect. They definitely did earn my respect. For a first time team, like new to this league, new to the arena, new to all that, them boys gonna be something to reckon. Like long the years. Not I ain't even gonna say years. I ain't gonna do them like that. But yeah, they gonna be a force. But I like the respect we had at the end of the game. I like that they came to play, and I love that we got to play them again because they're gonna test our defense. That's something we haven't had first team to score that much on us. So yeah, just on the word, just respect for them. Respect.
I dig it. I dig it. All right. So, as Q said, this week we kind of done with that. Do a quick preview for next week. So, Coach, who's next in line? Let's say it that way. Who's next in line?
We got
like
Carolina Predators.
Okay.
Carolina Predators. You know, and you know where they coming. Georgia. We at home, baby. We back at home, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
You know what? We got the Predators, but I can say this. Offense, we're going to keep our foot on the pedal, but I sure hate what our defense about to come out with after the game they just had. So it's somebody is in trouble.
Not the Bernie Mac.
Trouble.
All right, so we're gonna start with Q and then just swing around this time. Q.
So,
Thoughts on this game? Anything you think that you as a player or your unit or the defense may need to pay attention to against this Carolina Predators team?
Us as a defense, it's not our first time seeing this team.
Mm-hmm.
We had majority of us played with Peach State. And if they know us, they know our numbers, they know who we are, they know how we coming. Now, as far as not saying they pushovers or nothing like that, just come ready to play. Just come ready to play. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, same defense, just a different color. That's it. So just come prepared, man, because we got a lot of aggression to get out because they scored 42. I'm pissed about that. That's the first team to ever do that. I'm pissed about that. So I'm coming with a chip on my shoulder, and I'm pretty sure the whole defense is too, because we got something to prove.
Nico, what are your thoughts, sir?
I mean, ain't much to say after that. I mean, he's right. We got something to prove. We claim we're the best defense in the league. I mean, it's time to finally show up. Put up or shut up, you know?
I dig it. Shiesty P, from the offensive perspective, what are you looking forward to in this game, and what do you feel like y'all may be good at, or something you may have to pay attention to and make sure that you execute properly against this team? Since y'all know each other a little bit of history.
I'd say preparation. I feel like my offense, we kind of start off a little slow.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta wait till we get punched in the mouth first before we start to do what we gotta do. So I would say we just need to bring the energy to the game. We just need to come off with energy. Other than that, everything else flows right in. So hey, I just hope it's a good game.
All right. So Jeffrey, same question for you, man. What from your perspective, what does the offense need to do?
Man, the only thing I would say is, and I told the team this in our team chat, and I was like, the two power teams we faced, that being the River Gators and the Wolfpack. The River Gators, they put up, I believe, eight points, 14 points against them, and then the Wolfpack probably put up about the same, and we put up 38 on the River Gators, and 38 and 60 on the River Gators, and we put up 42 on the Wolfpack. So I don't see no reason why we can't put up at least 80 points on these boys. Shoot, that's the mentality. That's the way I want to come to this game. I want to start off fast, and I want to, I want us to impose our will on them boys. You know what I'm saying? And
Let's
I'm
do
sure
it.
our defense, they pissed off, they hungry, well, however you want to call it. They want some get back, and then believe it or not, the last time I personally played these boys, and I'm sure uh, Q and PJ can attest to this. We lost to them boys with P State last time, so I definitely want some get back versus these boys, and you know what I'm saying. I want to impose our will on these boys for real.
The final game.
Yep.
Talking about the
I feel
Predators,
it.
cool.
Yeah, when we played them like 3 times and we
We
lost.
played them like
Yeah.
3 times with P State last year, and the last time we played them, we lost.
When Sanders got out there and started playing running routes, and boy was scared to hit that man come across the middle.
So yeah, man, I want us to put up. I don't think it's no problem for us to put up 80, 70 plus 80 plus points on these boys. So that's the mentality I want to have coming into this game. And shoot, defense, I want the boys to shut them boys out. They can.
Do it.
I feel
Do it. Challenge accepted.
I feel it. All right, Coach, we'll start with you. We'll go around the opposite way. If you have any last word you'd like to drop, and of course, let the people know where they can find you at.
Well, we again, we want all our fans, definitely want all our fans, everybody in Georgia, bring their popcorn, bring them drinks, be ready to watch the Indians put on the show. We excited. We can't wait for this week. Feel good being back at home, and it's crazy. It's just time to turn that switch up, like Mozzie said. Got to keep our foot on the pedal. Now I got to be careful because the respect. I like to go ahead and run that clock down a little bit, but I feel my players where they coming from. That's what they want to do, and so I got to give them that. Got to give them that cool. We're going to have to do something to make something happen to put that stamp on the league, No disrespect to what they doing in the North, but on the South side, we got to keep our foot on that pedal.
Yeah, we can be nice and kumbaya after the game.
All right, Coach, where can the people find you and your social media handles for the team?
Y'all already know where y'all can find me at.
Yes,
Here you go
sir.
again.
Facebook, Leonard Holmes. Y'all know where I'm at. I'm on there all the time. I'm advertising. I'm promoting my players. I'm promoting the Indians. Georgia Indians page as well. Same thing on that page. I don't do the Instagram that much, but I'm gonna learn it. I gotta get my wife. I gotta get these guys show me how to do it. I ain't been on that yet, but I know we have one. It's blowing up. But outside of that, y'all can check me out on that.
Fair enough. All right, Jeffrey, where can the people find you
at? You can find me on Instagram at justdoit_JMac14 on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter, money_Mac14, and you can find me on Facebook as Jeffrey J. Mac.
Shiesty?
All platforms, you can find me at PJ Thomas, and we'll be back next week.
All right, then.
You did.
I love it. Nico?
Facebook, you find me at Nico Sting Pierce, and then Instagram, Twitter, and everything else is Nicho Glow.
All right, and Q.
Twine_29 is the Instagram and TikTok, and then Q Twine on Facebook. And I don't really have much to say, man. I just appreciate you having us. Like PJ said, we'll be back, and I'm loving how this arena league really blowing up right now. I got mad love for the game. I just really love the game. But the way this
Yeah.
stuff is getting a lot of publicity and over the years, hey, I'm loving it. And Indian fans, blackout. We're trying to get y'all in all black. If y'all coming to the game, blackout, black shirt. We're gonna try to have some shirts there for y'all. But come on, come out, show y'all support. We finally back at home.
Hey, y'all tap into my dog HRN the brand, man. Tap into my
Yeah,
dog
yeah, yeah,
King.
yeah. Yeah, I see it. I got a lot of stuff, man. I'm in the office, matter of fact, as we speak. It's a little messy, but I just got back in time. So yeah. HRN the brand on all platforms. HRN the brand.
You
Hey,
did.
shout out to all them boys up north that's playing too, man. Y'all be having some competition games up there. I
What?
like
I
what I
can't
see
wait.
up there.
Can't wait.
Hey, and
Yeah, I
with
look
that,
good up there
good
on the
luck,
south.
guys.
Appreciate it.
Hopefully, I will be back next week, and we'll be here ready.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we back in the building. Time to talk to another team that was able to, let's just say, achieve a victory on this past Saturday. So we got guys from the Jersey Bearcats. They got a 40-14 victory over the Maryland War Eagles. And I will say, like the Georgia Indians, these gentlemen, those that were on last week, their teammates or whatever, was just basically like, look, we'll be back next week. They just put it like that. It wasn't no whole lot of bragging and stuff. It was just like, we're going to be back next week. And lo and behold, they back up here, getting another victory, 40-14. Another 40 burger. They putting up big numbers on people, and the other teams aren't putting up a lot of points except for 1 week, and that was the opening week. So we back in the building, y'all. Bearcats. What's going on, fellas?
How we doing?
How we doing?
Hey man, just enjoying talking to you guys, man. I say this every week, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Like, what I love about number one, this team is everybody's laid back. Like, you can look at these guys until they just laid back, but they're dangerous because when they get on the field, they remind me of like a Troy Polamalu or like a Brian Dawkins. You just get crazy when they get on the field.
Sounds like
And see, that should be worded. That should be concerned. It really should. When you see dudes just be real laid back, but you know they out there taking off, making things happen against other teams on a regular basis, you should be prepared for them. And keep in mind, y'all, the Bearcats are getting other people's best shots. I would say after what the Indians have done so far in the South, they're probably getting that too. But the Bearcats are also a team that's getting other people's best shots. So they're not going out here and teams are just taking them easily and playing laps of days ago. They're getting the best that the other teams got, and they still making it happen. They're putting up big numbers on teams, as I said a few minutes ago. Now, the other thing, league as a whole, man, these guys could be here today. Somebody could call them and say, hey, I want you on my team, and they're gone. Developmentally, we got here. But Jersey's one of the teams that has depth, has a lot of guys that have leadership, and a lot of guys that help their fellow players be ready. So if something happens and I'm gone, you should be ready to step into my spot. So we're going to talk about that for a quick second before we get into either one of the games. So Mateo, QB.
Yes, sir.
So obviously the job of being a leader on the offensive side of the ball is automatically yours, whether you want it or not.
Yes, sir.
As one of those guys that are a leader on the team, what are some of the things that you kind of try to instill in the other guys on the offense and your own backup?
I think basically like we really don't try to overcomplicate everything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, like the three words that we really like try to remember is just do your job. You know, like we're coached very well, and everybody just comes to play for the team, not just for themselves. So it's just relying back on our training that we've had since March, since the beginning of the preseason.
I dig it. Joey, same question for you, sir, on the defensive side.
Yeah, basically every week we have to go 1-0. That's what AJ tells us every week. Enjoy the victory. Enjoy your rest day on Sunday, and then once it's Monday, it's back to work. Time to go 1-0 and win the week.
Yeah, it's definitely dig. Hezekiah, appreciate you hopping on with us as well. Same question, sir.
So basically, honestly, it's just like Teo said, just do your job, know your assignments, man. And honestly, if you do your assignments, like, there's no way they stopping us. Like, you do your job, 100%. There's no way they can stop us. Honestly, just keep the same composure. Just don't go way too over your head. Don't do too much. Just keep it simple.
Stay level.
Literally,
I see that. I see that. Y'all got to be told it. I see it. I can see it. Like I said, I've had a lot of talked to a lot of players, and just very chill, just very like focused, chill, relaxed.
Yeah.
So guys, we did have a game last week. We got to talk about that a little bit. So as I'm gonna just come back to you and swing around. One thing from that game that stood out to you.
Honestly, I like the fact that we're able to just, start out hot, like really start out hot, set the tone for the game. And I feel like we continue to do that for the rest of the season. Man, like exactly what I said before, like nobody's gonna stop us, man. Like we start out hot, we set the tone, let them know that we're just gonna keep scoring. Defense is gonna go out, they're gonna do their thing. Like no one's gonna stop us, man. Like we just gotta keep doing that. That's the one thing that stood out to me. We always set the tone.
All right. What about you, Joey?
I know that playing against the War Eagles, I played against them for quite a few years, and they were two separate teams. So now taking the best of both teams and putting them, I knew that was going to be a lot of focus and a lot of hard work to play against the best of both teams on one team. And those guys put up a fight every play. Like their O lineman it was always a competition between everyone trying to try to stop our D line. And then, just keep pushing forward and do what we got to do. Do our job.
Back to you, Mateo.
Like what you said earlier, I think it just goes back to the depth that we have, and we've been pretty banged up the last couple of weeks. Going to the last two games, and just being able to have people who can step up and come into those spots and again just do their job. Um, I really think really benefits us a lot. And like I said, like everybody's not selfish. Everybody's for the team. It doesn't matter like if somebody's coming in or if they won the ball at a certain time in the game. At the end of the day, like we all just want to get the win. So I think that's a really big factor that I saw this weekend.
Yeah, I did that. I hear a lot about different teams and different dynamics and everything. And one of the things I always hear about the Bearcats is team first. Like, you get numbers, those things happen. That's great. Somebody's going to get them. But it's not just about numbers. It's, how you impact the team, in all the other ways as well. So with that, I'm going to just ask this question. And this is, of course, another one for everybody. Offensively, one player that you think that you would say is your player of the game for the offense. Mateo, we'll just start with you and go around.
I definitely can't pick a specific person, but if I really had to choose a specific group, I have to definitely say the O line.
Okay.
They definitely gave our running backs the opportunity and gave us quarterbacks our opportunity, and they played one hell of a game, and they've always played one hell of a game, and they've been doing that the last 3 years, and I have no doubt in them. But just the confidence level that they're starting to build every week, it's really starting to show.
That's it. That's one of those quarterback answers, y'all.
Without them, can't nothing be possible. So shout out to all my guys over there. But yeah,
I feel it. What about you, Joey?
I'm gonna go with my boy Nas. Now he has to take on the full role of playing running back, and he's doing his thing. He's blocking. He's running hard. He's a dog. My boy Nas is a dog.
I like that. Versatile running backs. Hezekiah, who you got?
Honestly, I'm probably gonna go with Joey on that one. I probably got Nas too. So it's like Nas is doing everything, man. Like Nas is doing his thing. He's playing defense. He's doing his thing in the backfield at running back, and he's finding those holes, man. Like he plays. He pounds the football, man. He pounds the football. He does his job. 100%. I would say Nas, man.
And I also just to going on that too. His spirit on the field really shows too. You know, like his love for the game. You know, like he really gets us going and really has. You know, he really shows that dog in him. So
Likes to have
he
fun.
definitely sets the tone and gets us going. So he's
Okay,
definitely that good. Yeah.
I like that. So, same question, but the defensive side of the ball. Mateo, who you got?
Again, not a specific person, but definitely the defensive line really showed today, especially really showed this weekend, especially when we had them backed up on the goal line and they came up with that safety, you know, but they played a absolute tremendous game. You know, they're definitely putting pressure on the QB, and you know that definitely, you know, factored in us winning the game.
Yeah, I want to say, y'all, man, when you talk to, and this is not just this team, it's everybody. When you talk to quarterbacks versus everybody else, it's a whole different like focus. I love it because it shows a difference, but it's a whole different focus. Joey, who you got on the defense?
I'm on the defense. I can't really pick someone specific, but I mean, uh, I think it's definitely a big shout out for our younger guys too, because we have veterans and we have fresh players. So like, shout out to our rookies that are stepping up their game. You know, like the D line. I'm on the D line. My boys do. We do our thing in the front, but I got my boys Willie and Ahmad. You know, just coming to the arena game. And then you got the guys like Piper and and Archer stepping up, like learning how to play D back, and then all the veterans back there, like Tariq coming up with a one-handed catch, one-handed interception to seal the game. That was big.
All right, all right. Hezekiah, what about you, sir? Who's your defensive player of the game, if you can name one?
Defensive player of the game. Honestly, for me, I would say Tariq. Tariq, he's always a tone setter. He's a great leader. Like on both sides of the ball. Like he's gonna let you know like what to get done, man. And honestly, like just getting reps with him at practice, like when I'm going against with him, this man like he's very physical and he's gonna make sure like you get better at your position. Like I would say Tariq, 100%.
Okay, okay, okay. So, in looking at this game from the past week, guys, and this may be similar to the first question I asked, but looking at this past weekend, was there any specific thing that you saw that kind of made you be like, okay, for me, like, Mateo, of course, quarterback, got defensive lineman, got a wide receiver. Any one thing that you kind of saw that made you feel like, okay, I'm feeling really good about our chances and my chances to, be a good contributor based on, what I'm seeing on the field right now.
Want to go
So,
first?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Definitely. One thing I really picked up on was our defense is ridiculous. I think we had a stat we heard earlier today that I think it was 34 plays and they only let up 40 yards of offense. So again, like just defense being able to give us good field position for us to thrive and for us to succeed and put the ball in the end zone. Making our lives a lot better. But I definitely saw that. So our defense is to be reckoned with. So yeah.
What about you, Joey?
So I'm gonna go the opposite. I'm gonna say our offense is definitely coming together. They're definitely gelling. Like you have two quarterbacks that are both versatile, what they do, and they're both very good. So now you have receivers that have to learn both quarterbacks, and then we have all of our receivers doing their thing, and then our O lineman rotation, our O lines dominating. So everyone has to be literally 1/8. That's one of the big things that we harp on. They're 1/8, and then you got
Mhm.
Nas doing everything because he's running back, and then he comes to plays D line. But like everyone's doing their job, and they have to be on the same page at all times.
Fair enough. And Hezekiah, same question for you, sir.
I would honestly say like I don't have one side. I would say us as a whole team. Like we got we got we got a whole lot of dogs on our team, man. We got a whole lot of dogs. That's a honest fact, man. Our defense, like Joey said, like or like Teo said, the job done. And on offense, like the quarterbacks, man, like they're always keeping composure. Like that's a hard position, man. Like you're being rushed at, you gotta like make the right calls. Like, that's hard, man. So for both of them to, like, keep their composure, stay cool, and just, make those throws, make everything right, man. Like, we just got a whole lot of dogs.
I feel it. I definitely feel it. So, guys, we had a game this past week. Talked about that. Players of the game, different things. Also have a game, coming up this week, right? So, first of all, who are you guys playing? So, Mateo, I'm gonna ask you that question. Who's the team? Who's next?
We're playing the Steel City Stampede. That's who we're playing.
Okay. And this question will be for everyone. Any specific thing that you're looking at and saying, okay, based on what I've heard, what I've seen, tape I've watched, film and everything, this is something that we need to watch out for with the Steel City Stampede. And then also anything that you would like to point out as maybe like a point of emphasis just overall for you as a player or for your, side of the ball in this game. We'll start with Joey on this one. Go ahead, Joey.
So one thing for Steel City, that's another team that has been around since I've started playing Arena. So I've been playing for quite a few years, and they have always been like a rivalry team for me, no matter what, because they always come to play. And then I'm just excited to get at it again. It's like Jets Dolphins or one of those like Green Bay and the Vikings. It's one of those big games to me that I get super excited for the week of. And then going there and playing, I know that like one thing, especially for my quarterbacks, is that their venue's a little different. So they got a low ceiling. So that changes the game for me as a D lineman, because now I know I have my hands up. They got to throw over me. I'm a pretty tall guy, so like it's one of those little things that knowing the game a little bit kind of helps give me the edge.
Okay. As a guy, same thing for you, sir.
So honestly, this is my rookie year, so I don't know too much about Stampede. I know a little bit, but honestly, what I want to say is like, I just feel like we just, like I said before in the beginning, we just got to start out with a good tone, man. We got to set the tone early, and as for me in the game, man, like I just doing my job. I just gotta just do my job. Everybody else, make sure we all on the same page, and just pull out that victory, man.
So when they're talking about the young guys, right? The new guys that are contributing, as a guy, one of these guys are talking about. So
yeah.
Got these three guys here. You've seen the other guys from this team as well as the other ones. Make sure when y'all are watching the games, y'all paying attention, looking for these gentlemen and seeing them make these plays in the game. And but it's like, oh, I saw him the other day on the show. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Mateo, same thing for you.
Yeah, same thing. I'm a rookie. This is my first season in Arena, but the same thing. I don't know nothing much about the Stampede, but I know that based off of players that have played them in the past, they're gonna come and play. So at the end of the day, we have to come play too. But like what Hezi said, like we just have to do our job and control what we can control. And it starts tomorrow at practice, and leading up to the game. So how we prepare tomorrow is definitely going to affect us this weekend. But we're away, so the traveling and all that. We just gotta come to play football at the end of the day when we walk in there. So.
Okay, I dig it. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You have two of your younger players for the Bearcats. If you're sitting there talking with them and they don't tell you, which you guys have even known that they were first-year players, right? You didn't know they were rookies, right? So that's good because it shows that they've been able to be. I'm gonna take a Stephen A. Smith where I don't do that much, but they've been ingratiated into the culture of the team. They understand how everything is. They're learning, they're developing, they're growing right with everybody else. So we talk about how in Arena League, right, especially in AO2, the thing is you're wanting the other guys to be ready. So when your opportunities come, you can take them and you still don't leave your team in a bad place. These guys are examples of how that works and how that looks while it's happening. So just want to go around everybody. Please let the people know where they can find you And then also let you guys know good luck on your game. Hopefully we'll have y'all back up here next week. So we'll start with you, Mateo.
So you guys can find me on Instagram at the official.uno, but instead of a O, it's a 0. And then on Facebook, you can find me at Mateo Rodriguez.
All right. Hezekiah?
My Instagram, you can follow my Instagram, Big Spider-Man Head. So, Spider Sensation. And then my Facebook is just my name, Hezekiah Frazier.
All right. And like I said, man, good luck on the game this week. Hopefully we'll see you guys back up here next week. I think we will, but
100%. Just got to lock in.
You never know. As long as y'all play what y'all supposed to do, but you never know. So.
Yeah, of course. Got to do our job.
Absolutely.
Gotta do work. Gotta do the job.
I definitely feel it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be moving over here, and things are going to get a little bit more interesting. Not that they're not interested already, but we're going to have the commissioner pop on here for a few minutes. Appreciate you, fellas. So I did forget to ask one of the players where you can find him, but luckily I know that there's a commissioner right here beside me who has that knowledge and can tell y'all where we can find Joey at. And my bad, Joey.
Joey Ramirez on Facebook. And hold on, I'll tell you about Instagram. Just got to go to Instagram first.
I'm gonna guess that it's Joey_Spider on Instagram. It's just a guess I'm gonna make.
Yes, Joey_Spider with a Y. SPYDER.
So, my bad, Joey. But we still got it out there in the universe for you. Commissioner, what's going on, sir?
What's up, man? Another week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Another week of all games completed in the AL2.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Fun league, man. A lot of scoring going on. Obviously, you want that. A lot of good plays. Defenses are playing well. It seems like the offenses are starting to kind of come around a little bit more. We talked about it, that was going to happen. So nothing surprising, nothing out of the ordinary. So, I got to ask you.
Go ahead.
I got to ask you. Any alumni, any players that moved up, throw a little shout out to this week. If not, it's cool, but I'm gonna ask you.
The player we talked about though, but Khalil Trotman, the starter for the Colorado Spartans. He's 2-0 as a starter right now. They just beat Columbus yesterday. Saturday night.
Yep.
So that's a big win for him. It's a big win. It's good, big deal. I love it. So
yeah, we talk about how that's the motivation for the league, right? Give out guys opportunities. So want to try
and take advantage of it.
Yeah. Then once you get there, it's your job to make sure you open the path for somebody else. So good that that's happening, man. Good that that's happening. So anything you want to talk about that's happening in the league this week?
I mean, all these points that's getting scored. I mean, the whatchamacallit, the Georgia Indians and Wolfpack. That was at one point when I heard it was 38-16 at one point. Next thing I know, it was 46-42.
Yep.
So,
88 points scored in the game. That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like that South Division is rounding up like we thought it was going to be. Then you got Michigan, sneaking out a win at Pittsburgh, 24-22.
Yep.
So
that was another good tight game.
Yeah, we're about to be at halfway now. The South Division is at halfway.
Mm-hmm.
The whole league now will be at halfway this week.
That's wild. It's like we just started like yesterday.
Yeah. Yep. Already.
It's crazy. I love it though, man. I love it.
Yeah, me too. Closer closer you get. But then we all twiddle our thumbs in the end. Like, what are we doing? It's because there's no football going on.
Right. It's like you build up for it.
Yeah.
So you got the preseason, building your team, preseason, coaching staff, all that stuff, getting guys, getting everything ready, preseason. You get the season. Season flies by every league, and then you get your playoffs, you get your champion, and then what we do. So I get it. Just trying to enjoy the ride.
That's it. Why it lasts.
Yeah, it goes pretty fast, but people say that about life in general, so enjoy all the good moments.
Absolutely. I can't believe I'm 40. Flew by.
It's tough. Yeah, life is tough. Life will get you. So looking through the leagues, looking through, even just the scores and everything from last week. Right. We had a close game with the River Gators and Predators. It's one of the
12-8
battles. Good 12-8 game. Kind of tight there. Then you had the games like the Indians and Wolfpack you talked about, the Avengers and Outlaws 24-22. Of course, y'all 40-14 with the War Eagles, and the Stampede with the 34-12 win over the Roughnecks. So looks like a good, strong, solid showing from a lot of the teams in either their big games where both teams are kind of, get it off offensively for the most part, or their tighter games where both teams are kind of going back and forth, however that looks. And every once in a while, you'll get somebody who's kind of having lopsided victories. And, if I remember correctly, I think the Bearcats had a couple of those and the Indians have had a couple of those. So those look like two teams from what we're seeing that are going to be teams to watch out for. And teams that kind of you're playing, you're like, we got to get in our best shot because these are teams we just make a little bit of a statement against. Yeah, and it's good to have those. We got to have those teams, or it's just not fun.
Yeah, and don't leave out the Wolfpack there.
Yeah, Wolfpack. Yeah, they're kind of.
They might be 2-2, but from their first game to now, they're scoring points on offense now.
That's a fair point. And when that offense it's a good defense that can run the ball, and the offense playing better. So that's a good point that they're a team that you're going to want to pay attention to, because if you do sleep on them, you can get got easily. And that's honestly, I feel like everybody, even the teams who may be struggling some now, if you don't give them your best, they're going to get a win over you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
A couple of things bounce a different way. Some of these teams would be looking in a much different position. So, yeah, you definitely have a point there, Commish.
Absolutely. Just the other day in the Bearcat game and War Eagles. Mm-hmm. War Eagles cut it to 10 at one point. They had a drive and it stalled, and Bearcats got the ball back and scored, opening game back up. But for a second there, it looked like something was about to go on there, for the Eagles, for the War Eagles. But and sooner or later, the Pittsburgh Outlaws, they'll come around. Yeah. They'll come around. Though the 10-0, that division up there is not over yet. It's not over yet.
I dig it, man. I dig it. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game this weekend. Georgia against the Carolina Predators, too. Mm-hmm. Predators playing hard, but just, haven't gotten the win yet. But, hey, sleep on them if you want to. Like I say, there's so many great, good coaching, player development, all those things happening that just from week to week, you always have to stay on your toes, because you don't ever want to make an assumption that, this is going to be light work. And then you get in the game and you're the light work.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
And I think everybody does a good job of keeping people focused on that too. All the coaches.
Mm-hmm. Because that, if you don't, that can lead to the foolishness on the field. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't want to put that. You don't want to display that too much. Like, it happens, but you don't want to have that all the time. You got people watching.
Absolutely. And I like, man, a lot of the guys that we talk to, coaches as well as players, a lot of good, well-spoken guys. And that's important because we know that they can play football. They wouldn't be here. Right? If they couldn't play football, they wouldn't be here. They wouldn't be anywhere. But the fact that they're well-spoken individuals, you get a chance to kind of understand who they are as a person by them answering questions, talking about how they see things. I think it helps people just understand, like, these are real people. You know, these are athletes, but they're real people, and they know how to handle it. They can handle what's coming or what could possibly be coming for them. And that's another level of excitement because it's like you got guys that can play. You got guys who understand how to speak, how to kind of handle themselves, conduct themselves, and all those things. And those things are important when you're attempting to get to another level or you're attempting to stay there. So definitely like the quality of the guys that I've been talking to and that I've had a chance to interact with.
Yeah. See, for Georgia, shoot, PJ had another 5 touchdown day, 4 in the air and 1 on the ground.
Yeah.
Another big day.
Boy. Yeah, I got to be on the lookout, too, for the players of the week.
Yeah.
When commission drop is those. I believe those are on Wednesday.
Thursday.
Yep. I'm always ahead.
Yeah. A little busy last week. We didn't get them out until Friday morning, but we still got them out. Better late than never. But
absolutely.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to see, man, because a lot of guys have, some great weeks. And like one of the guys from Georgia said, you have a good week this week. You don't know if it's going to be your week next week or somebody else's. But either way, when the opportunities are there, you take advantage of them.
Right. Yeah. And I think last week, there could have been another choice at defensive player of the week. Right. But there was no film. Right. Only the highlights of the game.
Yeah.
So if there's no film of it, can't be nominated.
Yeah, you got to have the film. Yeah, I get it definitely.
So that got taken care of this past week.
Mm-hmm.
So there's film. So they got that fixed. So you don't have to worry about that no more.
That's good.
And plus, guys need that film if they want to move up.
Mm-hmm.
So so we got it now. It's a good thing. So now you can get everybody with their big game. You talk about games, guys had 3 interceptions and returned 1 for a touchdown and stuff.
Yeah, you want to be able to show those. You want to have those, like you said, to put out for film, as well as try
having 3 and a pick 6. That supersedes a lot.
Yeah, but you got to be able to see it.
Yeah.
You don't see it. You got
to try to make them feel bad by not being able to get nominated and stuff, so they can force them to get film.
Hey, whatever works to get the right result that is not cruel and unusual.
Right.
That's how you got to make it work.
Yep.
Yep. Another good weekend development, man.
Did you catch that drone footage in the Bearcats game? That was cool.
I saw some of that. Yeah, I saw some of that.
That was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to have the different angles and be able to do some different things and show innovation. I love it, man. It's it's hard to just maintain excitement when you can't give new things, new angles, new ways to see it. So being able to do that definitely helps, improve excitement and just curiosity. Sometimes you see things better from a different angle than you would from a normal angle. So love the concept.
Mm-hmm.
Working well.
It was cool. That was awesome.
Yep. Anybody who plays the Bearcats gets to make sure they get to.
They got it. Yeah.
Obviously, they're gonna have some film out there, them doing that. So that's a good move, kind of for everybody.
And you see everything from up there.
Yeah.
Can't hide from that view.
Yeah. Gotta make sure you're right. Make sure you're keeping it right and tight when you're on there.
I think game of the week this week has to be Bearcats Stampede, just off the history of the two teams and games. And they got some guys over there. Definitely.
If I recall, last week you said the game of the week would be the Indians game.
Yeah.
And
look how that finished.
Game was 46-42. It was a good game.
A lot of people they don't know about the Stampede. They what I mean? They've been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Very long time. So like when they changed their logo, somebody's like, oh, they're copying off of Grand Rapids. I'm like, they've been in existence probably just as long as Grand Rapids was before they went black.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know who Steel City was.
Yeah. Man, it's gonna be. I feel like a lot of these games I think are gonna be really exciting this week. And I know they're gonna be competitive. There's a lot of competition, and sometimes it doesn't show on the scoreboard. But when you're at these games, you're watching these games, you're seeing these games, you're seeing the replays of the games on the different places, PDF Sports, Shady Sports Network, all these places that you can see the games.
Mm-hmm.
It's good games to watch. It's good football. It's pure football, and that's kind of what could be missing. There are times where you can't really see quality football, and when you can get it, it's good to watch it. This AL2 that's being put out, there's good football.
Mm-hmm.
I'll definitely take advantage of quality product when it's in front of your face. Definitely want to do that. And if you're in the areas, we say it every week. If you were in the area that one of the teams are at and you're watching, go support them. Check it out. It's a low-cost alternative to some other things you can do, but still a fun time. Your pocket ain't going to be busted wide open when you leave.
Definitely
you
not.
Enjoy yourself. And that's a big thing as well. So support y'all. Support. And if you're not in the area where a team is at, find you one, follow them, get on their IG, their Facebook, go to YouTube, watch their games, support them. Slide a little merchandise, do all that good stuff. Make it happen.
Absolutely. And if there's not one in your area, definitely try to get you one.
Yeah. Y'all hear that? There you go. And that's the man to talk to. Think about it. That's the man to talk to right there.
There'll be some popping up in 2026. Some new spots.
Y'all heard it. We're gonna be more teams. So y'all be ready.
I don't know about Colorado. That's too far. We crossed the Midwest and things didn't work out well.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah, like you said, you'd have to get, and one of the things I know we talked about before is you like to go ahead and get enough teams to be in an area where they can kind of be local and play each other.
Right. Yeah. That's how that's how you're saved. Yeah, that's how people save money. Travel costs. It's always one of your biggest expenses.
Yeah, and then that way, if you are traveling, it's more than likely for playoffs, things like that, but not just regular season. So yeah, that's a good strategy, by the way, too. I don't know if I told you that before. My opinion on it. That's a really good strategy to kind of get to lump them together, so that way the travel's minimal for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's what happened when you played the game before and you understand how that works, and you're like, well, this is something we can increase it and make it better. So
right,
we expect those things. We expect you to come up with those things, man.
Yeah, I mean it's cool to travel, across the country, but you got to have money for next season too.
Yeah, it's not always economical to do so multiple times. So yeah, I feel it.
Mm-hmm. That's why we try to get our teams who can do it. Again, like I mentioned before earlier in one of the shows, who can do it, who can travel, who wants to travel. Right. I tell you what though, if we were to leave it up to the War Eagles, Julian Robinson would have that team in every state every week. I swear. He would.
Nothing wrong with that, though. Nothing wrong with that.
Like, was y'all in Florida? Now you want to go to California? Like they would do it 100%.
Well, you know, you always got one.
So you got to go through Coach Steeple first, not Julian. Because if you tell Julian, he'll be up and down the East Coast.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, we get a lot of good information here on Turf Talk. You know, we'll say earlier, we're on episode 8. 2 months of shows. That's crazy.
Already.
I feel like 3 shows, maybe. But hey, it's exciting, man. It's good. It's a fun time. And it's a great learning experience. I think hopefully people are learning a little bit more, understanding the league, seeing the teams, the players, and getting a chance to kind of buy in a little bit, because that's what we want.
Right. Yep. So they keep supporting, guys keep having chances to have opportunities moving up. Just got to support. Support guys, teams, and these players won't be around or have a shot.
This is very true. This is very, very true. And we definitely don't want that.
No. Nope.
So, Kabish, any final thoughts or anything? Of course, you got to let the people know where to find you before we're out of here.
Yep. You can find me at Adrian OK on Facebook, Coach OK on Instagram, AmericanArenaLeague.com, American Arena League on Facebook, the official AL2 on Instagram.
So everywhere.
That's it.
Everywhere.
Yep.
Well, good people. It's episode 8 coming to close. Make sure you're back with us next week for episode 9. Commissioner, appreciate you, all the gentlemen who were part of the show, and everybody watching. Appreciate y'all. And we'll be back next week.
Oh, yeah.
Retro.